What's up, peeps? So I downloaded Last Epoch a few days ago and I've been playing it. I'm currently level 37. I went for Acolyte and then specialized into Necromancer, and it's going pretty well. I'm doing pretty good damage. I'm going for like a full-on minion build, and I wanted to just basically share what I've done so far. So if there's any experts out there that got any tips, certain stats I should kind of focus on and drill down into, certain skills maybe that I might need to change, that kind of thing, you could throw some advice my way down in the comments, because I am enjoying this build. But I learned with PoE that after halfway through, I completely bricked the build my first time I played it, and I had to restart all over again because I just wasn't being able, I didn't know there was survivability. I just kept dying. So I haven't died yet on this playthrough. It's not on hardcore, but I haven't died once yet. It's been going pretty well, a couple of close calls. But anyway, let's dive into it and I'll show you exactly what I've done so far. So here we are in game, and here is my Necromancer. So before I get into like just showing you how it actually works, the skills and stuff and everything, let me just show you the gear and everything. Am I doing the right thing? I mean, before we go any further, let's just look at the character stats. And what I thought was, well, with PoE, resistances were really important. And so I've been focusing on trying to get all of my resistances up. Now, I learned that elemental resistance just does fire, lightning, and cold. It doesn't do all of it. But I've managed to get the fire and lightning at 75, the colds at 53, physical 51, poison at 65%, which is pretty good because poison can literally shred you. So I got that up to 65. Necrotic and void both quite low, 26 and 38. But my take is that these resistances are going to be really, really important when it comes to you know, being able to survive against these enemies. Like, I learned that building into things like armor and health will only get you so far. Like, you have to have the resistances, from what I know. If that's wrong and Last Epoch is completely different to how I remember PoE working, then I would love to know that in the comments below. But that's where my stats are currently, so you can check those out. As far as the gear goes, let's take a look at my gear. You can see here, this is what I've got currently. And you can see some of the stuff I've worked into. I'm going to go through it very quickly. I don't want to keep it too long on this, but you can see here, helmet there, intelligence, summon bone golem, extra point on the skill, talent tree, minion armor, poison resistance, and physical resistance. You're going to see a theme of a lot of resistance here. Increased necrotic damage, freeze rate multiplier. I'll get to that in a minute as to why I've got that on there. Cold resistance, void resistance, physical resistance. And again, elemental damage, necrotic damage. We've got fire resistance and poison resistance. Mana, which is very helpful, of course. Increased minion health, lightning resistance, increased health regeneration on the chest piece. I decided to go for a scepter with this necro build because I am doing melee damage and I'm also doing spell damage. So I guess having both is nice. And I've also got some extra bits on there like health on kill, increased physical damage. The void damage is kind of irrelevant, I believe, but this is the best I've got right now. Again, freeze rate multiplier, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. We've got the warrior's silver ring, necrotic damage, physical damage, because that's literally what I focused on this build, is necrotic damage and physical damage. Then we've got the resistances as well. I picked up, I'm very lucky actually, to pick up one of the set pieces of gear. I got the belt, which is the minion belt for 26% increased minion damage, intelligence, fire resistance, and melee fire damage for the minions, which is kind of nice. So that's pretty good stuff, and I'm trying to find the other two pieces of that set. I've also got another ring, a jade ring, which gives me critical strike chance, minion health, and physical resistance. And then on the gloves, we're looking at increased minion damage, again, freeze rate multiplier, cold resistance, necrotic resistance, and increased stun chance. The boots got a lot of movement speed here, and 12% plus the 9, so we're looking at 21% movement speed. Strength is, I mean, I done a random roll on it to see what I'd get, and it gave me strength, and I weren't able to like re-roll it again. I don't know if I possibly can do that again now. Let's take a look. I mean, maybe we can. Should we just try it while we're actually recording? Let's see if it works. We're going to randomly change the upgraded thing, and that's how you change one of these, which is kind of nice, the fact you can individually change them. I mean, something better than strength would be most appreciated. Let's see what we get. And do we get some luck on the video? Actually, for a Necromancer build, intelligence is actually kind of really good. So that's actually really nice. And you know what? I think I'll go ahead and increase my intelligence just a little bit more here while we're here. Actually, I can't. 39 to forge. Okay, I can't do anything else. But hey, I got some intelligence. That's better than strength. So that's pretty good. I've just left my boots in there. There we go. Okay, cool. So there you go. That's the boots. And we just changed strength for intelligence. So much, much better. And then, of course, the relic, I've got increased necrotic damage, increased minion damage, cold resistance, and elemental resistance. And just to show you what I'm talking about, I mean, a lot of you probably know, but just in case you didn't know, take a look at this. You see all the resistances? When I remove this one that has elemental resistance, you can see only fire, lightning, and cold go down. And then I put it back in, fire, lightning, and cold, but go back up. So elemental is just fire, lightning, and cold. Just for those that didn't know. Anyway. That's how my gear's looking. The idols I'm still kind of working with. I can show you those very quickly. There's a few different things on there, but I mean, these are all I've picked up so far. So I guess I just need to find some better ones, and I've got another space open to get some more. So I'll work on that as and when. But that's where this looks. Okay. So as far as like the skill tree goes, now, one thing I like about this game is the fact that it doesn't overwhelm you with tons and tons of skills. You know, you choose your classes, you choose your speciality, you get all the skills unlocked, and then you pick 5 and you roll with those 5. And I mean, I kind of like that. So as you can see here, I've gone for minion build. So I've gone for these skeletons. I've leveled these up so that I've got going for literally all archers. The archer skeletons, I believe, are probably the best ones out of all of them. So I'm leveling them up to basically get all archers. I've got one more level to do and I can do that. As I mentioned earlier, I put freeze multiplier on a couple of pieces of my gear and I was leveling up that stat to increase it. And the reason why I was doing that, because it's kind of a weird one to put on a Necromancer, right? Was because on this skeleton skill tree, you can see here that I upgraded it so that the archers fire fire arrows. And then I transferred that into ice arrows. And it says here that it converts the fire arrow into an ice arrow, converting its base fire damage to cold damage. Ice arrow cannot ignite, but it has a chance to freeze. So I figured that freeze multiplier would speed up that process. That's the whole idea I had behind the build. It was okay, go for max skeleton archers, turn them into ice arrows, increase your freeze multiplier, and then freeze everything. That's kind of what I was thinking of. It'd be kind of fun to do that with the archers. I don't know whether that freeze multiplier affects those ice arrows. I also working into this one here, which is the multi-shot, so I can fire out more of them at once, so the fire rate's going up. So basically, like, it's just going to mean that they're going to freeze. That's the thought process behind it. I don't know whether that works. I have a habit of thinking these builds up, and then when you come to do it, that's not actually possible to do. But I think that works. If not, please let me know down below. And if I should be respecing and changing this into something else. So you can see where my tree is right now on that one. I've also gone for the golem, and I went down here and I activated the blood golem. I don't know whether that was a good move or a bad move. I don't know whether I should have done that, or considering I've got a lot of freeze rate modifiers, whether I should have come over here and done the ice golem. There's an ice golem down here, you see, like death chill. Maybe I should have done that one. I don't really know. That was my initial thought, to go for blood golem, but I don't know whether this golem tree needs completely respecking. I don't know. I know it hits hard as hell, but like still it could possibly be better, I guess. I put 5 points into this one, which it says your golem's hits restore health to you and itself. So that, I mean, that's kind of good. It keeps my health up when I'm in situations. Some speed, some armor. Put a couple of points into this. It makes the golem larger and generates a threat, like just basically like a taunt. Makes them attack the golem, keep them off me. So I thought that was kind of a nice feature. But that's where that's at. And then this is a real, before I tell you about the next one, the other summon I went for was the skeletal mage. And what I done here was, the reason I got the mage in itself is okay, but I went down here and I activated Death Knights, which basically gives me a really strong melee skeleton. They got like blue swords. They're really cool. So I got like that. I thought that was pretty good. And the idea is to replace the other melee skeletons with the archers and then use these ones instead for the close range melee ones. Also went to Order of Death to activate more of those as well. So yeah, I mean, that's where that's looking. And then the 4th skill I've got currently I'm using is this one, which is Bone Curse. This is kind of crazy. I mean, I've spec'd into physical damage on a lot of my gear and stuff. And when I activate this thing, it lets me hit for like triple damage when I hit, and it causes massive damage. And it's like already added on things like bone eruption, which make the target area go like cause damage on the target area when I spawn it. Also the ruptured corpse that also explodes, makes it explode as well. So like when I drop this bone curse, it kind of really just, it melts the enemies. It's kind of insane. And then I've increased the area of effect on that. And what I was doing is I was working down towards here. I got Mark of Death. I was going to increase the duration of Mark of Death and then go down and get Misery. That's what I was going to do. That was going to be the next stage. Again, I don't know if this is the best way you think to spec out this particular skill, but I'll show you in a minute how it works. I mean, it seems to be working pretty well. But again, I don't know. And I'd rather put this video out there and just get everyone to like look at my build and see what they think before I go any further in the game, because I am really enjoying it. I just don't want to mess up the build. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. So I can go ahead and I use a melee attack. I use my sickle. That's me when I just walk around and attack them. So when I get behind an enemy or something, I'll whack them with that. But for the most part, I'm summoning. So let's go ahead and summon them in. So we're going to go ahead and summon in the Death Knights first. You can see I've got 4 Death Knights in total. These guys have swords, which is really, really cool. Then we can go ahead and bring our archers in and our 1 warrior, because I've got 1 warrior. You can see I have 5 archers and 1 warrior. And then we can also go and bring in the big boy, which is the golem. There he is. So you can see I actually have a kind of a crowd going on. Now, there's one other thing I want to tell you before I show you just a little bit of action is it's just static like this. I've got like 11 minions up, right? But like the other thing I've done as well, then this is why I decided to go into Bone Curse, was because I came up here and I activated this skill here, Entreat the Damned. And you can see there it says killing an enemy with a Bone Curse has a chance to summon a Skeleton Vanguard, a minion that deals melee physical damage, which is good because I'm building into physical, using a spear, and you're limited to 3 of those. And there's no time limit on those. When they spawn, they stay there until they die. So all I've got to do is keep spamming Bone Curse when I'm starting to attack enemies, and I'll spawn another 3 minions. So I'll end up with like 14 minions running around attacking with me. So it's kind of crazy. Last but not least, we've got the passive tree, and I've so far spent 21 points on my Acolyte part of this tree. So you can see I put a full 8 points into Blood Aura, 8 points into Stolen Vitality, 5 points into Crimson Gluttony, and that's all I've put in so far on this tree. The rest of the points have gone into Necromancer, and this is what I've done so far. 7 points in Rise and Army, a couple into Grave Thorns for extra armor and health. I've also put a point into Blood Armor, so I could come up here and put 5 into Mortal Tether, so I can then go ahead and unlock another skeleton. And then I've got 10 points in Cursed Blood, and Aegis Fall, I've put 2 points in for some extra armor. Oh, not extra armor, it's to shred armor on the enemies. I'm not sure if this is the right way to go with this, if it could be tweaked some, I don't know. But again, any kind of like advice or thoughts on the way I've done this passive tree here would definitely be appreciated. Anyway, look, just to finish off here, I'm gonna go over and just jump into like some enemies. I'm not there actually, that's not the way to go. I'm gonna jump into some enemies quickly and just show you guys like what it's like in battle. I guess the easiest way to do this would be go over here, I guess. We can just go here actually. I literally just got to the Oracle. That's where I'm at on the single player campaign. Just met Oracle, was about to go down the catacombs, and we finished the live stream. Let me just show you where I'm at here. Let's get some enemies up. And there we go. We should be able to find some, may find some ads around here. Let's take a look. Because I know this is pretty much just the tutorial right now. I mean, the maps is where it's going to get interesting. I just want to make sure I'm not messing stuff up. So here we go. You can see I'm going to drop this blood curse. My minions are going crazy. Look at this. So they just melt. They're just melting at the moment. I ran out of mana at the moment, which is fine. None of them died. Oh yeah, I've got a Vanguard. So I got one of the Vanguards. 2 Vanguards. There we go. 3 Vanguards. There you go. Look at all them. So basically my full summons are up now. And you can see they're applying chill to those skeletons with those arrows, which is really, really nice. And you can just see how quickly these guys are just absolutely melting. A couple of big guys. They're not going to be a problem. Dead. Pretty good stuff. come up here, kill these skeletons. Got some Imperial Knights. They're going to get taken out. We've got another big guy. So you can see, just looking at the way the build's playing, look, big guy here. We're going to absolutely annihilate this dude right now. You know, just keep dropping the blood curse. And they're not going to like it one bit. And I mean, as far as the gameplay goes on this build, it's going well. Like I say, I'm not really struggling too hard. There's been a couple of moments where I've not been paying attention and I've been caught out. But for the most part, everything seems to be like running really well. So it's not like I feel like I'm in desperate like emergency here, but I just feel like I know how the difficulty is going to ramp up really, really quickly. So I just want to basically put this out there to see if I'm on the right path. If there's a certain stat I'm not building into that you really think I should, or if there's gear pieces I should be going for, or if there's different skills I should really be running with this, you know, please, you saw the skill trees. By all means, drop a comment and let me know below. I will definitely appreciate any advice. For now, though, from me and my skeleton crew, that's going to be it. If you want to catch the live streams, by the way, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. And we'll be going live from next week, from Monday, with the continuation of this build and this playthrough. Again, thank you to everyone that's been supporting so far. And I'll catch you in the next one. But until then, stay safe, everyone. And of course, peace out.